working on solving equations. We've done one-step equations for I shouldn't say equations, inequalities. We've done them by adding or subtracting. We've done them by multiplying and dividing. Everything that you normally do with an equation is the same thing you do for an inequality, with one exception. When you multiply or divide both sides by a negative, adding or subtracting, it doesn't matter, you don't flip the inequality. If you're multiplying or dividing by a positive, you don't flip the inequality. When you're multiplying or dividing both sides by a negative, then you flip the inequality around. It's the only time you flip it, so you need to pay really close attention to when you do that and when you don't. So like I said, today we're doing more than one step, multi-step. So the process is the same. If this were an equal sign, we would solve it the same way as if it were an equal sign. So our first step on this one is to do what? Subtract 9 from both sides. And I get 4x is greater than 12. 12, yeah. A little slow this morning. Now what do I do? Divide by 4. And I get x, and I get 3. Do I flip my inequality? No, you do not. It's by a positive. It was positive 4 on both sides. I don't flip the inequality. Okay? Did I flip it? Oh, my Lord. I said not to do it. I did. Jeez. Okay, it's Monday morning. Come on. We're still a little brighter on it than you guys are right now, apparently.
That should be an X, too.
Yeah, that should be an X.
Oh, my God. Okay, maybe Mrs. Kersey should start doing this lesson instead of me. Greater than 3. Yeah. Okay. Word problem. Writing and solving a multi-step inequality. In a community garden, you want to fence a vegetable garden that is adjacent to your friend's garden. You have at most 42 feet of fence. What are the possible lengths of your garden? So, 42 feet of fence. And if you look at the picture, you are going to have to run a fence parallel to your friends. You are not, apparently, in this particular garden, allowed to share a fence with your neighbor. That's not normally how it happens. But apparently, you're not allowed to share a fence with your neighbor if you look closely at the picture. So your fence is going to go all the way around. So you have 42 feet to do the outside. Now, if you look at the question carefully, you know how long this distance here is. It's 12 feet. Okay, we know that that's 12 feet. It's 12 feet here. It's 12 feet on this side. It's 12 feet on this side. The question is, how long is that distance there going to be? Okay. So this is where we set up our problem from. So if I do my perimeter, okay, I've got 12 feet, and I've got 12 feet, and I've got x feet, and I've got x feet. So I have 2 times x, because how many x's do I have? I have 1 here, I have 1 here, right? And then how far do I have from here? I've got 12 feet, and I've got 12 feet, which gives me how many feet?
A lot of feet.
Don't.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. 12 plus 12 is, what do you get? 24. How many feet of fence do I have? 42. It says at most 42. Can I be smaller than 42? Can I use less fencing? Yeah. Can I use more? No. So it has to be less than or equal to 42. Diagrams, drawing pictures really helps with stuff like this. Okay. So subtract 24 from both sides. 2x is less than or equal to 18. Right? Yeah. Divide both sides by 2. X is less than or equal to 9. Okay, so I can go 9 feet out. So I can have a 12 by 9. That's a big one I can get. Not quite, probably about the same as my friends all the time. Okay, questions on that? Okay, We've done problems like this before. Only difference is now we don't have an equal sign, we have an inequality. Process is the same. So what's my first step on this one? What? Yeah, I want to get rid of my parentheses, so I distribute. 3 times x, 3 times 1. 3x plus 3 minus 4x is greater than or equal to negative 5. Same steps. What do I want to do next? Not quite. Combine like terms. I want to look on one side. Look, I have a negative 4x and a negative 3, positive 3 on the same side. So I combine up those like terms. 3 minus 4 gives me a negative x, plus 3 is greater than or equal to negative 5. And now it's a two-step equation. Subtract 3 from both sides. Negative x is greater than or equal to negative 8. But I don't want negative x. I want positive x. How do I get positive x? Divide by negative 1. Or in this case, I could multiply both sides by negative 1. It's the same basic thing. Divide by negative 1. And I get x and 8. And do I flip my inequality? Yes, because I did negative 1 to both sides. Ooh, and I did that one right. I flipped it when I was supposed to. Yeah, some days. Questions? Same idea. Okay. So, multi-step equation, a lot of steps. First thing I want to do is, do I have any parentheses? No, I don't have any parentheses, so I don't have to worry about distributing that. You want to look. Do you have parentheses? If you do, take care of that first. Okay? Second one. Do I have stuff on one side or the other side to combine? Can I combine like terms? No, because what you have to do for combining like terms is look on one side of the equal sign. One side of the equal sign, I have 6n minus 1. There's no like terms to combine. If I look on this one, I have the same thing, 3n plus 8, no like terms. Like terms is when you're working on one side or the other side only. I can't do that here. So now it's just getting my variables on one side. Okay. So in this case, what I would do, subtract 3n from both sides. And I get 3n minus 1 is greater than 8. Okay. What do I do now? Add 1. 3n is greater than 9. Then, come on, I know it's first thing Monday morning, but come on. Divide by 3. And I get n is greater than, not 9, 3. I know it's Monday morning.
Good news is we have a 3-day weekend this weekend. Yes, no school Monday.
Okay, this one's kind of important. We want to work at solving them, but these are a little unusual. They do have special circumstances involved in your answer. So the solution is, you got to kind of pay attention to them. So my first step is to distribute. Okay, so I get 10 minus 8a is greater than or equal to 10 minus 8a. Uh-oh. You look at that, something goofy's got to be going on. Because I got the same thing on both sides. Okay? So normally what do? I put all my variables on one side, right? So I add 8a to both sides. These cancel, and I get 10 greater than or equal to 10. Do I have any variables there? No, I don't. When your variables drop out, you have one of two possibilities. This is one of those possibilities. Is that a true statement? Is 10 greater than or equal to 10? This is a true statement. If your variables drop out and you have a true statement, then anything will work. And your answer is all real numbers. Anything will work. Okay, that's a fancy looking R. That's the way we write it. That stands for all real numbers. Everything will work. It doesn't matter what your variable is. It will work. If your variables disappear, you have a true statement. And this goes for any time variables go away and you have a true statement. Anything will work. It doesn't matter what you put in there. Doesn't matter. Everything. Okay? Absolutely everything will work, which is kind of cool. Let's do this one here. My first step on this one, well, I don't have any parentheses. I do, however, have like terms on one side. So I have 6m minus 5 is greater than 7m minus 1m is 6m. And, ooh, looks like we got the same kind of thing going on here. Exactly the same variables. If I subtract 6m from both sides, those go, and I get negative 5 greater than 7. Is this a true statement? No, negative 5 is not bigger than negative 7. This means that there is no solution. Nothing will work. Everything works, nothing works. Okay? That's the situation going on here. That's the special situation. If your variables drop out, if it's a true statement, everything works. If it's a false statement, nothing works. Okay? Questions? Awesome.